Somebody has to die.
Right. I'm staring right at your back, just so you know.
Okay then. Right.
I
Hey,
just
you
wanted to
actually
let you know.
inside the cabin here. I'd see the sweater clear as day. Whoa.
I can see it too. Look at that. I wish I could let you zoom. Oh, I can zoom in.
I'm gonna
Zoom
kill
in
you!
and zoom out. How long have I been playing this game? I didn't realize. Oh, there we go. Okay, I'm coming back.
Alright, come on, let's do this.
Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. For people who have been on my channel a while, you may have seen the two videos I'm fixing to show. I combined a couple tips and tricks videos I did back in 2018. There was two of them. The reason why I am reposting these, for one, it was crappy mic, so I wanted to redo it anyway. But there is a lot of new players I've been seeing. Like that, there was, I don't know how many level ones, people under level 11 that was on it. It was amazing. But a friend of mine, MADDOGG, and I'll leave a link below to his Twitch account, but I was watching him play a few weeks ago, and he just had bad Tommies after bad Tommies, just did not know what they were doing. And for anybody that's played a while, especially on the Xbox, we used to call them Johnny Tarvises, not Tommy Jarvis. So if you call it Johnny Tarvis, that means you're a bad Tommy. It was just kind of running gag. So purpose of this video, I'm going to show the first part, show you some tips when you're playing Tommy, how to be a good Tommy, especially when you're playing with veterans that's been playing for a while. They expect you have a lot of pressure on your shoulders when you're Tommy. You need to know what you're doing, and that way you're not getting yelled at and all that stuff. So this is to help you out. The second part, I will show you 3 different ways to kill Jason when you're Tommy. Alrighty, so let's get in this video. Okay, so the first thing, if you see right there on the right, there's a tower. That is where you go to call Tommy. And the power has to be on. Jason player may take it out. You'll have to get the power back on. And you can see that red blinking light across the map a lot of times. Go find the radio, you call Tommy. Usually if you're the first two, if you died or escaped, usually one of the first two come back. The one that died usually is the one that comes back before the one escaped. Once in a while, it will be the third player. I don't care what anybody says. I've had it happen to me a couple times. So just remember that. But usually it's the first two. Usually the one that died gets preference. So let's say you've been watching the lobby, and all of a sudden your turn's back, and here you come. You get to be Tommy, Jason's arch nemesis. So you spring into the lobby, start running. So what the hell do I do now? That's probably what you're asking. Okay, the first thing I want you to get out of your head is you have already played your life, okay? You, for accounts where you either lived, escaped, or you died, and Jason got you. That's over with. Your job's come back. You are to be a pain in Jason's ass in a lot of reasons, part for pun. And like I said, don't be a Johnny Tarvis. I want you to be a Tommy Jarvis. I want you to be a good player. Even if you know the basics, most veterans will work with you. And now, I'm just going over a list of things, and why look at this, say, basically, are you a Tommy Jarvis or a Johnny Tarvis? All right, so let me show you what makes a Johnny Tarvis. All right, Tommy Jarvis is there to save as many players as he can. Johnny Tarvis is a player that needs saving. And this is not a joke. Had this happen a lot of times. But I don't want you to be a Johnny Tarvis. All right, so what makes a bad Tommy or a Johnny Tarvis? Okay, the first thing is Johnny hides for the rest of the game or until Jason finds them. And yes, I've had this happen way too many times over the history of this game. If you're a Tommy, you have a pocket knife. Do not go hide. You're not helping anybody. And also, that pocket knife will get wasted if you get killed in a hiding spot. Don't do it. 2, a Johnny Tarvis runs behind the rest of the group, not doing anything, expecting them to keep them safe. Yes, I've had that happen too many times also. Remember, you've already died. You're back. You're there to save people. Number 3, Johnny fixes the car or boat, leaves everyone. Way too many times that has happened. And if everybody's dead, that's fine. If they're not, don't do that, guys. Okay, and number 4, Johnny doesn't listen. Mic not required. If you're Johnny and there's veterans, they're trying to tell you what to do, please listen. I'll show you later a good one, but you don't necessarily need a mic as long as you're listening. You got a good headset, listen. You don't need a mic. Number 5, Johnny trolls the lobbies they're in, and I had one do this. He would actually die and come back as Tommy and start shooting people and run them over. Guys, don't be a troll if you're Johnny. That's just bad etiquette. Alright, 3 ways to be a good Tommy Jarvis. Okay, the first way is when you come back as Tommy, be the distraction. Get in Jason's face. You'll see me sometimes joke, call Jason names and all, and I'm having fun also, but I'm doing it for 2 reasons. One, I'm trying to keep his attention on me. The more attention he keeps on you, the less he keeps on the other counselor. It gives them a chance to either fix things, get away, or because you got to remember, you got all the best stats. You got 10 of 10. You got the stamina, you got the composure, you got the speed, and you can shine during this time, so to speak. But even flashing a light in his face, shoot a gun at him, like you'll see him. Anything to keep his attention on you. Like there, I shot him. And if you got to go over and teabag him, whatever, just keep his attention on you. Get him off the girl. All right, number 2 is you can come back and you can be the mechanic. When you're in the, I guess, view mode after you die before you come back, if you see a lot of the players are not fixing stuff, but they're, beating the crap out of Jason, juking him, and they're good at that, and you see Jason's preventing them, they prevented him from fixing the phone, I knew it was there. Then at this point, if you're pretty sure they can handle themselves, go fix stuff, fix the car, fix the phone, get everything ready for everybody to get out. Be the mechanic. Number 3, you will have to put down Jason. Third and final, Tommy's the only one that can kill him, period. No, Tommy, you're not killing him. And when you come back, like right here, we're going to run in here. This girl is going to grab this sweater. That is me. Now, this Tommy right here, this guy, this is what I was talking about listening. This was the 3rd time he had ever played Tommy. He had no idea what to do. I told him, just pay attention. I will tell you what to do, and we will take care of this person who had been playing a while. They was a pretty decent Jason. They weren't bad. And he listened. That's what I was talking about. Pay attention. And a lot of veterans will tell you what to do. They'll tell you, hey, do this, do that. Say, like right here, I hit. This is called a spray and pray method, and I'll go over that later. But like I said, this is the first time he ever killed Jason. He had no idea what to do, but he listened. And that will make you a good Tommy right there. Just listen a lot of times. I had another guy the other day. I don't know if he had a mic. I kept telling him to hit Tommy. He just stood there to look at him, like one guy said, I don't know, I guess he fell in love with him or whatever the deal was, and they're getting a hotel letter. But don't be that guy, okay, guys? That really will irritate a lot of veterans. I know you're new. That's what the purpose of this video is. Just listen, okay? And a little final note before I get into the ways to kill Jason. Don't think you're going to come back and just be the mechanic, or just come back killing Jason every game, or just be an distraction. You may have to flip-flop every game. You may have to be 2 or 3 roles in the same game. I've had to do it. If you come back and try to kill Jason, you screw up, you glitch something, it happens. It's a game. But you tried, and you looked like you knew what you were doing. And like I said, you may have to flip-flop roles halfway through the game. So just expect that is going to happen. Okay, so now we're going to head over to the 3 ways to kill Jason. And veterans watching this, you probably already know all this stuff, but if you're new players, pay attention. All right, first thing, your items needed. This is what you got to have to kill Jason. Number 1, you have got to have Jason's mask. You got to get that mask off. And that's usually just from beating the crap at him. Like, see here, it comes off. It says, show yourself. Doesn't matter where he is on the map. It'll pop up, say, hey, Jason's mask off. There it is on the ground. Now, you can pick up that mask and sneak into Jason's cabin. Mom won't alert him, but get that mask off. Number 2, you got to get Tommy back. Find Tommy house, call him, make sure he's back in the game, but you got to have him. He's the only one that can kill Jason. Number 3, you got to have a sweater girl. Girl goes in Jason's shack, grabs his mom's sweater. You got to have a female. No other counselor, none of the men can get the sweater. Sorry, it's a sexist game. It's only the women that can do it. All right, 4th and final, you either got to have an axe or a machete to kill Jason. By the way, the fire poker, that's a myth. Don't believe it. All right, so here's the steps to killing Jason. Number 1, get the sucker's mask off as quickly as possible, especially with the rage mode. Number 2, you activate the sweater, hit your Y on the Xbox. Number 3, hit Jason with a stun weapon like a bat, bring him to his knee. Number 4, Tommy finish him off. That's the 4 steps. That's it. All right, so here are the 3 ways to kill Jason. This is called a third wheel, and this was popular when the game started. This is what a lot of people, all of us, were using. You have 3 players. The girl activates sweater. The third one comes in, hits with a stun weapon. Get in front with A. That's the end of the game. Still can use this every once in a while. Say Tommy's got a machete and you're worried about it not stunning him. You may still use a third wheel. That's not a problem with that. All right, the most popular one is what I call double trouble. You have only 2 players, and Tommy has the axe, and here he comes. The girl activates the sweater. You hit him as Tommy. Just get in front, hit A. That's it. It's one swing. Don't keep tapping. Just one time hit, guys. All right, the third and final one. This is called the spray and pray. And here comes Roy. I hit the sweater, spray myself, take me out of animation, hit him. Tommy gets in front. That's it. Now, little tip for you to be able to use the spray, you have got to be hurt. Like, just kind of climb out a broken window, jump through a glass, or Jason hit you once. But you have got to spray yourself, take yourself out of animation. If you do not, and if you hit the sweater, you will give Jason time to get out of the animation. He'll kill you both. So you have to spray yourself, take yourself out of animation. And like I said, this guy I was with, he never knew what to do, so I used this method. Saved him a headache just in case he messed up. That's fine. But he did a good job. And if you're wondering if it still works, because like I said, I made this back in 2018. They still had some updates. Well, here you go. I tested it. Now, I'm using a machete, and my buddy let me do this to him, and I got the sweater. So let's see if the spray and pray still works. Now, I'm not going to be able to stun him with a machete. That's not going to happen. But watch this. This was done 2 days ago, so just to let you know, you activate the sweater with a Y on the Xbox, whatever you're on, your activation, use it. And I hit it, spray, boom. See? Take me out of animation, I get to hit him. So it still works. Works just fine. Like I said, the purpose of this video is not to embarrass anybody or anything. I know there's a lot of new players. I want you to enjoy the game. That's anybody that's ever played me. That's my main focus. I want you to enjoy the game. That's what I want this to be about. And a lot of veteran players, if you're new, and that goes for me too. If I see you're new, I'm going for you first, probably. Especially if I'm Jason, because we don't want veterans coming back as Tommy because they know how to kill us. But if you're a veteran, come back, and you may use it on me, which I may regret putting this video back out, but you can at least say, hey, thanks for the video. Show me how to kill you. So, okay, I did my job. But like I said before, when you're Tommy, you have a big role. There's a lot of pressure on you. I know. Just be a good one. And a lot of people forgive you as long as you try, okay? Even the other guy the other day, he didn't know how to kill Jason, which, okay, that sucked. But even in the video, if you paid attention, he was a good distraction. He kept Jason, he got Jason away from me quite a few times. I mean, and from the others. So he did a good job on that. He did one of the 3. So I'm not 100% mad at the guy. Can't be. Plus, he knew he didn't know what to do. Or he freaked out. I have no idea what it was. But I'm not mad about it. But when you play, do your best. You're going to screw up. There's a couple times you'll hit him with the axe, and it breaks. Oh, that's another thing I need to go over. The third wheel method I showed you with the 3 people, besides the machete, why you may want to use it, another reason why you may want to use it, if you've used that axe a couple of times and you worried it's about to break, you might want to use a third wheel. That way you're not using it as a stun and then the finishing blow, because you may break it when you stun him. He goes knee, which that has happened to me way too many times. It's embarrassing. And that's the worst thing you do, sitting there with no weapon. It sucks. Also, that third wheel, if you're, let's say you are not inexperienced, you got another person that's a little more experienced, or y'all have no idea what to do. Let one of your buddies have the bat, and one of them have the sweater. You got the machete or axe, and you're good. Not to worry about it. Also, if you want a little additional insurance, I've never really had many problems with axe for when I'm doing a double trouble. It's just two of us for, just me and the sweater girl. She hits it, I stun him with the axe, and then I finish him off with another blow. But if you have a machete, you're less likely to stun him. It still happens, but your chances are very low. To increase your odds, slot in what they call the sucker punch. I used to use it all the time. Great. Used to be great before the Rage update, which kind of bummed me out. It's what I hate because I love sucker punch. It increases your odds really good for stunning Jason. I used to use it and I'd go grab a machete to stun Jason and take him out. And I got a hell of a sucker punch. It's like 24%. But even with the axe, if you're worried, it may or may not stun him sometimes, which it does happen, but it's very rare. Put a sucker punch on if it'll make you feel better. And like I said, some people are going to tell you to use that myth they had going around about the fire poker to kill them. I tried it, couldn't get it to work. Had buddies try it, doesn't work, sorry. Another tip, if you're Tommy, anything you have on your counselor like a perk, it will transfer over to Tommy. So let's say you got the double med. When you go to play Tommy, all of a sudden you got 2 health sprays per canister that you have in your inventory. My advice, worst thing to be is what I call a squishy Tommy. And I saw this from a lot of new players. If you have thick skin, please slot that. Just in case you come back to Tommy, you're not squishy. And I'll go over thick skin perk in another video coming up. I got a few things I need to do with it. But if you have thick skin, put it in. You don't want to be a squishy Tommy going up against Jason trying to save people. And just remember that. But I did go over that awful quick. I apologize, guys, but slow it down. Go back and look over if you need to. If you got any questions, just ask. There's people that watch chat, been playing for years. They can give you some good tips. But just give you a basic thing, okay? Going over it real quick again. If you come back as Tommy, you're either going to be a distraction, mechanic, or you're going to be killing Jason. One of the three, or you may be doing all three. And vice versa. You never know what you're going to be doing. But when you die or escape, pay attention to what's going on in the game. What's everybody really doing? What does the rest of the team seem like? Are they trying to kill Jason? Are they trying to fix stuff? Or, for instance, like with the phone, I knew where the fuse was dropped. I saw the person dropped it. Came back, picked up a fuse, ran over, fixed the phone real quick. Because Tommy can repair it at ridiculous speed. Like I said, he has all the best stats. That's about all I can think of it off the top of my head, guys. And if you got any questions, like I said, leave them below. I'm sure there's plenty of people in the chat to help you out. And my biggest thing is pay attention to what's going on. Listen to people that's playing, and you'll eventually get better. You will, and you'll be one hell of a Tommy. Actually, when I started, I died a lot. I mean, my death rate was way up here. But the cool thing was I died so much, came back to Tommy. Guess what? I got plenty of practice as Tommy. Now, that's probably not the best way to do that, but hey, it worked. Alrighty, guys. I have rambled on enough. Please like and subscribe. Got any questions, comments, leave them below, and I'll see you on the next video.